What's up, YouTube family? Look at this amazing place I'm at today. I came here with the off-roader and I was checking out this mountain that's getting hit by the sun. The sunlight and the greens here in Asturias right now in summer are spectacular. In other parts of Spain, everything is completely dry, but here everything is full of color. I've also been looking at that little village. I don't know if you can see it down there. It looks like a postcard, and it's really a nice place. It's like a postcard. And I'm not here by chance. I'm here because I want to learn about the story of Manuel Blanco, or Lulu, as he's known around here, and he's the last person living in this tiny village we have right behind us. You can see where it's located. Up there, in fact, I think eagles or vultures have been flying overhead for a while now. I have to ask him what kind of bird it is. And well, I want to hear his story, as always, because I'm really fascinated by these people who decide to stay until the last days of their lives, well, in their village, in what was their village, and tell me what that hard life in the high mountain villages here in Asturias was like. So if you're interested in the topic and want to know a little more, I'm also going to encourage you to follow me on social media, because that way you can stay a bit more up to date with content that I don't upload here to YouTube. And let's get to it. Well, I'm already getting close to where I think Manuel lives. He's over there. I can already see him sitting there. Look at this place with the Horio right here in the middle. How are you, Manuel? Wow. I really wanted to meet you because they told me you were the only inhabitant of this amazing village. And just look at the views it has. First of all, let me put a mic on you so we can hear you better. I have it right here. I'll put it on you. Put it right there.
Wherever you want.
You'll be heard better that way. How are you, Manuel? What's it like being the last person living in a village in Asturias? How does it feel?
I just mind my own business. I have benches and things like that around.
Are you still working? Well, no.
No, not at all. I mean, you really haven't.
Well, there are other people who decide to collect their pension and enjoy life.
No. I think I have an apartment in Ariandas. I don't know. It's been years, but I don't go to lanes. I just went when I bought it and closed the hole.
Man, let me tell you something. Leaving this spectacular house you have here with these views, the granary, and all the little animals I see you have around here, because I see you have dogs and some chickens I've seen back there.
The chickens are mine, they're mine.
So you don't get bored?
No, I don't get bored. I'm always busy. I'm always working on something. If not, it's in one place or another.
What's it like living here, or what was it like? You're a native and have lived in this town your whole life.
And I was born in a house that's over there. No, it was behind a well.
Later, if you want, you can show it to me. No problem. Yes, later. Don't worry, relax. I want you to give me a master class about the town. So,
I saw my mother get married. And well, my father passed away a few years ago. And here I am getting by.
did you work your whole life here in the village? Or did you ever leave to work somewhere else?
I was in the Middle East.
In the Middle East? What did you do for work there?
We worked on a highway from Kuwait City to the Saudi Arabian border.
Well, I imagine, did you go because the pay was good, or did you go because...
Yes, there was money flowing. They paid quite a lot per month, of course, and there were a few specialists in my field, and they offered it to me, and I said yes, and that was it.
What was your job all your life? I don't know.
I had 14,000 jobs. I was a mailman in Gijón. Well, after that, I worked in assembly and then on roads.
In this little village, how many inhabitants did you end up having? How many families lived here in total?
Families, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At most.
And how many people in total? Because I remember, well, it's always said that there are many people per family.
That one had 10 or 11 children, I don't know how many.
Well, there could easily have been 70 or 80 people in the village, yes?
In that one, it's already falling. You can almost see the roof. No, I wouldn't see it.
We can't see it from here, no. But, well, later if you want, like I was saying, we can go over there and you can tell me a bit about the village, which is very interesting.
Go on, tell me, tell me.
Yes, because she's the only, how do you say it, living memory, right, of the place. When you're gone?
When I'm gone, there will be no one left here. No, it's that no one comes here anymore. I have a brother, but he's married, living with a man over there in Ponga. And he comes on weekends to have a coffee and chat a bit, but that's all.
And you don't think this little village will have a second life, do you?
No.
Think life here is hard? Yes.
Well, it's not really hard if you're willing to work. But not anymore. This won't come back.
Are you talking about this little house we have here?
It's about that one.
Honestly, it's a shame, because look at how it is. The whole roof is already starting to fall apart.
It's already falling down. No, but that can't be fixed. It's just that he bought a house down there in Anano, and his sister has another one, a new one in Santonia, and they won't come back here anymore.
What a shame. No one is thinking of selling a small house in this village. I don't know.
A cousin of mine was around here yesterday saying he had to see if he could sell something around here. He has a house here, but well, it's full of nettles and weeds. That's in a terrible state, and I don't know who's going to buy it.
Well, I'm looking for a house. You never know.
No, but it's very expensive to fix it up there.
Manuel, what has your family done for a living in this town all their lives?
Farming.
Wasn't there anything else?
Nothing else. Also, my father was a priest.
Your father was a priest? Priest can marry and have kids. Well, son.
No, when he finished his studies, he left. Man.
All right.
It's because my mother was a good-looking woman, or so they said, and she had seen all the sweetness of this land. No, and that's it. She came, she got married.
And all the families who lived here also devoted themselves to livestock and agriculture. Yes.
Yes, that's what there was here.
What was grown here? What did people live on?
Corn, and there was more corn and all that and all the local produce, the stuff from down below. And down there, and that's what people lived on. Potatoes.
Man, I imagine that what we see now, all forest and some pasture for the cows, maybe a shepherd left around here. Before, all of that used to be farmland, right? They did this to supply themselves in the village.
That was for the livestock that was roaming around out there. He would come by every day to go there, sometimes to one place, sometimes to another, and that was it. And in the summer, they would come and tie them up and milk them and so on.
Honestly, I'm amazed because the little village is beautiful. The only thing that makes me really sad is seeing that, the abandonment here, that the few little houses left around here, because that over there was a little house too, this one here, or that was a stable.
This used to be a pigsty.
And this one too?
No, this one is for cows. This one is half mine, and the other half belongs to those people who live down there.
But it was always a stable, right?
Yes, always.
And where were the little houses? I mean, yours was here and the neighbors, and where were the others located?
Look, there was another one there. One of my brothers bought it, and a nephew must be living there now. What happens is that he's not here. He must not be around.
He's not here today?
No.
This was the first house I found when I arrived, and it's a bit more restored. This one right here. And then, well, yeah, I see that there's another one back here, right?
Yes, there's another one there. Those are two houses.
Those are two?
There are two. On this side, one has a top entrance. On that side, the other has its entrance. No, it's my cousin's. His father bought it.
And did he buy it with the intention of coming here to live, or?
It doesn't bother me. I just haven't experienced anything. I haven't lived anything because he is from Gijón.
And so they buy them, but with some purpose, to rent them out already.
I don't know what they're going to rent there because it's very expensive to rent them out. Fixing up one of those houses costs more than building a new one. But it's just that both laid out badly. Thank you. Look, those mares belong to the nephew.
Which ones?
Those down there.
The two mares over there? Yes.
Those belong to the nephew.
I don't know if you can see them down there. There are two mares. And I imagine with so much family and so many kids here, there must have been a school, right? In this little village or what?
We used to work there, right?
You had to go to the nearest village, yes.
Yes. There. To the first house you get to, yes. Here, that one there, the schoolhouse.
Well, Eno, which I haven't mentioned, is a little village down here as you go up, and it's quite a bit bigger than this one. Yes, and that's the one that has the school.
Yes, the one that had the school. No one comes through here anymore.
I can see that, son. I can see that. It's really sad to see how bueno. The mountains are swallowing up the villages, and the young people, well, you don't see them having much intention of coming back, do you?
No, the ones who leave, it's rare for them to come back. He lived for 2 years. The last 2 years he lived in Eno because his wife was from Eno, but he left his children. They're around, almost all of them. He must be in Germany now. Look at how everything's falling apart.
I find it incredible. You can barely see the house.
No, barely. And then you can't see anything anymore. That beam will break, causing everything to fall.
Besides, this little house must have had some spectacular views because look.
Yeah, man.
If we took this tree away from here, it would have honestly some truly enviable views. A lot of people would want them.
Man, of course some people would want them here.
I think there are a lot of people from outside who would pay a fortune for a little house that's, as you can see, just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere.
That's it, there. Look, be careful or you'll get stung by nettles.
Yeah, look at all these nettles here. They can really hurt, but they're also great for making tea. Did you ever try nettle tea?
No.
Well, they say it's really good for you.
No, well, I just don't feel like it.
You've never felt like it? No. And look, I'm going to try, even if it's just to get up to here, to show you this house, what used to be the entrance area, which is over there. I mean, we're not even going.
He had it over there.
It says number 8 there.
Well, yes, it says that was the city council that sometimes went around putting numbers on the houses. Maybe it was to collect the taxes.
Yes, because it's not for anything else.
This is in ruins. What a shame. Good thing we're wearing pants, right? Otherwise, no way. Look. Watch out, you'll get stung by nettles.
It's nothing, don't worry. I'm being careful.
Let me check if I can move these for you.
I mean, this was the stable, the part downstairs.
This was the stable, the one that was over there.
That thing over there? And down here?
They used to keep sheep and things here. I fell down a little bit.
No, calm down. You relax. You were worried about me. I appreciate it. That's just how you are.
It hurts you.
What was this for, this piece of furniture?
It was for hanging the water pots.
Here, the water pots were hung on this.
Yes, here.
Hold on. I'll add some light so you can see better.
Look, there would be another one here that would already go to the Katorna.
And this water, what was it for? For the people who lived here to drink, or, of course, yes?
Wasn't it for the yes? No, the animals were taken to the fountain and then they brought the water. Look, this was the basement. Look, it's raining over there like from outside.
It's a shame to see this. I see this a lot here, always placed by the stable doors. What was it? What was it used for?
Is it used?
Chicken coop. Was it like this?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. It's just that I always see it everywhere and I thought it was for rabbits, I don't know why. No.
This was for the chickens. They had around here, they would come in through here or over there, I don't know. They would come in from both sides. And this was the chicken coop. They would close it and check until they put them in, so they wouldn't lay outside and risk losing the eggs. But right there, of course. And here they kept sheep.
Let's check around and see if we can spot any part of the house. Look, hanging there is something like a pack saddle.
A pack saddle here, yes.
A pack saddle hanging there. You can see what used to be the rooms of the house. A doorway you can see around here.
Yes, and over here there would be another one, yes.
Another room here.
And little
More we can see around here.
And that's about it.
Because unless it has another hole around here, no.
There won't be any more holes there.
Look, the kitchen, look.
The kitchen was there, yes.
Of course, yes, this was the kitchen it's collapsed.
Yes, and this is about to collapse too.
Yes, the whole thing. Do you see the kitchen? What a view from here.
There's a horseback saddle?
Yeah, let's get out because this doesn't seem very safe.
No, it's not very safe, no.
Not very safe, Lulu, no.
No, that's about to... It won't fall now, but it won't take long.
These houses were built, however, in a different way, with much more resistant materials. This kind of wood doesn't exist anymore.
This would be cut over there and closed in a sawmill, one on top and one on the bottom, and that's it.
But, well, I imagine this wood is from here, from these forests, right? Yes.
Yes, yes, everyone had some around here. Yes, man, this wood was always around here, always.
And the stone for these houses, was it bought or brought from a local quarry as well?
No, from there, damn it. I interrupted you, let them hug. I didn't feel like you... Calm down.
Relax, I can handle myself, really. Don't worry about me.
No, but this is how they get you into the routine later. What I was asking you...
The thing about the stones, was there a quarry around here, or did they bring them from somewhere far away?
No, there was a quarry. There are stones around here to make a cathedral like the one in Ubedo.
Thank you.
Oh, these are from friends. This clings to clothes and won't come off. Well, there it was. There was a washing place there where the water came down. And there was a washing place, and that's where they washed. I washed there.
But there, I imagine you still remember the people who lived here in this little house?
Yes.
It must be powerful to see their faces and know you're the last to remember them. Because I can imagine it, but like you...
Not like I can. Oh, for goodness sake. Here on this rock. Over there. And I used to go by there. That's bad.
Is that rock hard to get across? Did you have to herd something there?
Yeah, more than 4 times.
More than 4 times, Manuel. What did the people in the village do with the harvest? With everything that was grown here, even with the animals? How did they trade with it? How did they make money?
The way was that you had to bring them in, and the pigs.
Did you go down to a market to sell them, or?
Yes, you went down to Kangas. Here in Kangas, you went down to sell small piglets and things like that.
And agriculture too? Was there a market for that?
For agriculture? No, not for agriculture. Little animals, yes, but for live animals.
And what did they do with the surplus from the garden? Did they sell it to the neighbors, or no?
No. No, if not, it was kept for another year.
Was it for another year? Was the garden always just for your own use? Yes. So it was never meant to make money for the owners.
Right with it? No, it was for the household's own consumption.
And how was winter here? Was it harsh? Did it snow a lot?
No, now it snows less and less. Now it snows less and less. It used to snow here, but I don't think it snowed at all last year.
Does it surprise you?
Yeah, it snows less and less every year. It snowed. It used to snow a lot up there when I was in Valles. I used to herd cattle there. Oh, absolutely.
And when the winters were harsher, how did people here prepare themselves? What did they do? Did they collect everything from the forest, or how did they survive?
Of course. You had to bring firewood, you had to chop it, you had to, all of that had to be done.
And these forests, for example, what did they provide you with? What was there? Chestnuts? What kind of fruits?
There are some down below, and there are some by the side of the road, but back then there weren't any there. But, and over there too. But not to sell them, no, for the pigs, so they would get fat to kill them for St. Martin's Day, yes. You killed them and put them in a wooden trough like that, and you added salt and so on, and that's how it was preserved. And not a single ham or anything went to waste. Wow. Damn, this thing gets hot.
Yeah.
It's sweating, yeah.
Did you ever think about staying here in the village for your whole life? Or do you see that as very difficult? Because I noticed the road to get here was really neglected.
Yes, it's really neglected.
It isn't great even up to the village of Side, but here it's really neglected. Yes. For example, how do you manage with shopping and daily needs?
No, well, I go down to Kangas.
You go to Kangas? How do you get there?
I left the car there the other day, and I almost went into a ditch going up from that curve a bit.
But do you still drive?
Of course I have a first-class license.
Man, okay. It's just that I hadn't seen a car and I just assumed you didn't drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so then you go down to Kangas, do your shopping, and come back up, right?
Yeah, I go up, I go back up. Right now, I don't have a car this week. I would come to give myself the same answer.
If your sister doesn't come and bring some things, yeah. So what I was saying, did you plan to stay here for life or?
No.
It's not the hard part.
No way. No way, man. After getting old, man, if you had a family and all that, sure, but no, since I don't have anything, no. No way. I have an apartment in Ariandas.
So are you going down there or what?
Yes, I'll go down there eventually. I'll go down there in time.
Doesn't it make you sad knowing this village will be gone when you leave?
This is already over. Haha, it's over. Once I leave, this will be over. This is already over. There's a guy coming over there to tend to a cow down there, and he's already over 80 years old. And he won't be coming here much longer. He's from the house up there, mine, the one that's kind of falling apart, that one. That one won't last long.
What a shame the towns are disappearing.
Yes, small towns are disappearing. And who is making them disappear? The rulers.
Lulu, are you telling me that farm over there where the cow is and where I'm pointing my finger used to belong to a Cuban, a man who lived in Cuba his whole life? Yes?
Yes, his whole life. Ha, that's all.
So he didn't bring any fortune back, did he?
How could he bring any fortune? Man, what would he bring? Well, he inherited from his parents, but fortune, what fortune?
Well, some of those they called Indianos came back here with a lot of money, a lot of wealth.
But that was many years ago. I don't really know. And there were very few of them. Man, there were always clever ones. Fools don't go where the clever ones do. Oh, what a mess.
And now the stable fell there, and it's going to stay there for 2 days. That plot over there.
Okay, that plot, that one, it turns into, in a few years more or less, what it's going to become. And he's already over 80 years old. That's the town of Junta de la Iglesia.
I'm not going to keep you any longer because your sister came. The sister came to bring some food, and I don't want to keep you any longer. I'm going to let you go eat. I want to thank you very much for this conversation and, well, for what you were able to explain to me about the little town and the time we spent together. Well, let me tell you something. For me, it's very important the people like you who choose to stay here as long as possible, despite the difficulties. Haha, I'm telling you from the heart. That's why I came, because I know how hard it is to be here alone. I don't want to leave this place because you get attached to everything here, especially the family homes.
Yes, man, yes, man.
It's a shame about the villages, this.
This is ending like this, and then another one goes the same way.
I know, huh?
Ha ha. It's not just going to be this one. This other one down below is going to start. They're just old, and half of it. What happens is that there are people there who now buy the houses. Yeah.
But then they don't come, so what does it matter? What's the point?
Nothing, nothing. They let them go for next to nothing just so they don't have to watch them collapse. And
What's most important is life, the life of the village. Coming here and adding value matters, seeing people and kids playing, you know?
well, damn, man, we can even go down to
The school. Well, yeah, imagine that school coming back to life. A dream?
a dream.
And it's just that I'm very much a dreamer and very nostalgic, so
That's over now.
I know, son. Well, just keep enjoying these amazing views you have here, because honestly, I'm leaving really in love with your town and your house because it's beautifully situated with those views.
Oh, what the heck.
As I said, Lulu, it was a pleasure meeting you and thanks for welcoming me.
Yes, you really did welcome me well.
No, you really are genuine. People from the village have a different way of seeing life, and you are much nicer than what I find in the cities.
In the cities, people are more rude.
Yes, much more.
Much more.
Son? Much more, son. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave you my social media, as always, over there, in case you want to stay a bit more up to date with the content I don't upload here on YouTube. Thanks for always being there. See you next video.